So today is the video that I promised y'all, the reaction video to Miss Ayissha Morgan. Now, if you do not know who this is or what I'm talking about, you can go ahead and revert to the video that I did earlier today where I gave you a little background or whatever, because we're not going to do that right now. We got too much to cover. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know that before this video, she did another video, which may have been like a month or so ago, and she has since made that video private, but I did secure the footage at the time that she did the video because I was like, maybe I should do a reaction to this. I reviewed that video prior to this reaction because I just wanted to make sure I'm able to catch any inconsistencies with her news story and the receipts and all that. So I know you're probably going to review this video, Ayissha Morgan, so thank you in advance for reviewing it and just seeing our points of view. We're just a little confused and we get pissed off when you go disabling comments and likes and shit like that, because we need to be able to communicate with the person putting these allegations out. Now, I'm speaking for myself. I don't think I projected hate, but I did let you know that just something wasn't adding up. I would hope you didn't take that as hate, okay, Miss Ayissha? We wasn't trying to hate, boo-boo. I just wanted to let you know something wasn't right. And not that you gave anybody a chance to tell you what they felt, because you done disappeared off of all social medias, disabled your comment section, didn't allow anybody to get in and ask you these questions, okay? So far, she's at 3,847 views. She disabled dislikes, comments, per usual.
Let me give you everything that you've ever dreamed of.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to address a few things in regards to myself and with everything else that's going on as well. Back in May, I put out a couple of videos in a storytime format, basically addressing some sexual misconduct that happened to me while filming a TV show. I never expected for those videos to pick up the way they did. I never expected to get justice, and I never expected any of this to happen.
Okay, so she said she put out that video in May. She didn't expect it to do what it did. She didn't expect justice. She didn't expect any of this to happen. Well, this is where Me Too movement is like pushing at its all-time high, because everybody is coming out the woodwork saying about how they've been sexually assaulted or raped or whatever by this person. And so I just find it odd that you think that it wouldn't do what it did, because you're literally releasing this stuff at the height of the movement.
So I was like extremely surprised when my videos blew up, and sorry, it's a train. Okay, so I was like really surprised when the videos did the numbers that they did. I was also really surprised at the amount of support I was getting. I expected hate. Whether 1,000 people saw the video or 500,000 people saw the video, I expected hate. I knew that this person had an excellent way of coming off as just this saint, and I knew that it was definitely going to be challenging to get people to understand that the way this person portrays himself to be on camera is nothing like the way the person is in reality.
Okay, so she said that the way the person is on camera is not the way that he is in his reality, and that she knew that she was going to get a whole lot of hate regarding what she released. Now, to bring you back to the other video that she released, which I do not know the title because, like I said, she has since made that video private. But in that other video, she said that she received so much hate to where people were telling her to kill herself.
When everything first came out, I was going through a lot already. And the reason I made the video in the first place is because it had been weighing on my heart. And so I decided to do, put the videos out, and it was like my first time really talking about it. So I put the videos out, and it was it took off. And some of those messages oh, you should kill yourself and things like that, I never got hate before. I know it sounds crazy. I had always been liked on social media. When I started getting all that hate, and people started calling me a liar. It hurt because I took the necessary steps I needed to tell people. I told people right away, like right when it happened, and nobody helped me.
People were telling her that she was lying. People were just throwing all this hate. Killed me when people would say he would never do that. I'm like, how the hell do you know what this man will do? So I'm not one of those two. I'm just gonna look at the information that I'm given. I'm going to judge based off of that. And again, it's my opinion, so my shit really don't go anywhere. It's just mine. It just comes out of me and just falls to the ground. It's just me. You know what I mean? It's just me. But it just tripped me out that a lot of people would get to this girl comments and to email her, send her messages telling her to kill herself. That's horrible.
None of this was going on before I pressed record.
Of course, it's all
So I've always been the type of person that is very dependent on other people. I allowed that to kind of take over the situation. And I mean that by saying I was advised not to really speak to anyone. By me not speaking to anyone, we were idle for so long, they resumed production. I know I told you guys how no one reached out to me from Critical Content.
So she's saying that she was advised not to speak to someone, and because they were idle for so long that production resumed filming or whatever. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I recall them saying that they started a thorough investigation, or they started an investigation to kind of see what had happened, okay? Because they had to. It's just too serious. Me Too movement knocking people's careers and stuff out. So they had to do this. And I just find it odd that someone would advise you not to say anything. I get not saying anything to bloggers or to people trying to just do interviews. People just, you know, just wanting to be nosy and shit like that. Like if I would have called you, I would have advised you not to talk to me because you could say the wrong thing. So if legal counsel or whoever it was that told you not to say anything said not to say anything to bloggers and stuff like that, I would get it. But you're saying that you were advised not to say anything, then you guys were idle for so long to where production picked up and just started filming. So you didn't say anything to them? Why? Isn't that important? Wasn't that necessary in order to find out whether your story was credible or not, in order for them to do a thorough investigation? Wasn't it necessary for them to talk to the person that is making the accusations? But you said no one had reached out to you. Then you said that they got tired of waiting, so they just resumed production. Here's the thing. If I'm trying to, I guess I can equate that to being in court. If somebody is on trial and the key witness, there's no DNA evidence or whatever to incriminate this person, but we have a witness that's saying that they saw everything. If that witness decides not to participate or just not forward or is off, you know, whatever happens to the witness to where they don't have that physical person saying I saw this, that, and the third, and this is what happened, they have no choice but to let that person off. And if I'm wrong, and anybody with the criminal justice degree, y'all comment down below, let me know. But I think that's how that works. If they don't have the witness, then you really don't have a case if you don't have evidence in something like that. So according to you, you're saying that you were advised not to say anything, and so they got tired of waiting, so they resumed production. Well, then that tells me either you don't have your crap together, you can't produce any evidence, something with your story. And I'm not going to hold production and my money-making business because you decide you can't talk because somebody advised you of doing it. Who the hell would advise you to not speak to the person conducting the investigation? It is an investigation. And they're trying to come to some sort of resolution to see what happened. Something could have potentially come out of it had you cooperated. And you seem a little bit shocked as to why they resumed production.
The second thing that I wanted to address is the fact that production resumed for the show. Now about that, it has nothing to do, honestly, with anything that I said, because of the fact that they resumed production without speaking to me or anyone in my camp. So the fact that they resumed production is solely based on them because they didn't investigate. They never talked to me. You can't investigate anything without talking to the person who put it out there or anyone in that person's camp.
Well, if that person is not willing to come and testify to what happened to her, produce the evidence of what happened to her and all this other type of stuff, then why should we keep holding on production? Why should we keep holding our production, waiting on something that could potentially never happen? We are running a business here. Now, I'm not saying that to say he was innocent. I'm not saying that to say, well, hell, you know, to hell with her story. She's just a regular schmegular. I'm not saying it to say those things. I'm just saying you have to think logically here. If you're not cooperating with them, how do you expect them to conduct a thorough investigation? Hence why they said that you were not credible. You didn't provide them anything else to go off of. Okay? Let me get back into this.
They actually sent someone that actually works with the team to basically give me the number of the person that was in charge of my case. That was pretty much that. I got 3 messages. Those are the only messages that I received. Anything else was, I never got anything from Critical Content or anything like that. But I didn't talk to anyone. I was advised not to.
Okay, but you had those 3 messages that you received. So I'm really hoping that the 3 messages you received from the staff members from Critical Content, I really hope that you put those in this video, because that's something we can go off of, okay? And how the hell are you gonna prefer to do videos about it than to talk to the investigator? That don't make any sense. All right, y'all, back to the video.
I was very anxious, like the whole time. I was like, I did this not thinking I was gonna have a voice, and now that I have a voice, I can't talk. Like, I was really confused, but I'd never been in this situation before. So when someone's telling me, just wait, I'm going to listen, especially since I didn't feel like I had much of a voice outside of the situation either, because I was always so dependent and allowing other people to make decisions for me.
Okay, so you said that you was always so dependent in allowing people to make decisions for you, hence why you accepted the horrible advice to not say anything. You need to stick up for yourself. We even said back when I did my reviews that you allowed, if it happened, I am so sorry. When you look at the fact that you told us all of these things that you just continue to allow. You continue to allow him to do that, and it was almost like, oh, she like that? Okay, cool. Oh, she like that too. It's like a child. If you constantly allow them to get away with stuff, they're going to keep pushing it another level until they see where it can be cut off. But if you never cut it off, they're going to keep going and keep going. It's kind of common sense. So, and then when you say that you just allow people to just, you know, do whatever to you, and you just trust them, you're very dependent, all of this is starting to make sense to me. Maybe you misunderstood. They meant not to talk to people doing interviews, conducting interviews regarding the situation. Possibly not to do videos.
Not talking was probably one of the biggest things that I regret ever, because they resumed production. And I'm gonna say this, I feel like it was a very poor effort on their part to attempt to talk to me. I feel like,
wait, you say that it was a poor effort on their part to attempt to talk to you? You said you have 3 messages from during this time from the person that worked for the Critical Content. So it was a person that was sent from their team that tried to contact you, gave you a number to the criminal investigator, or not the criminal investigator, but gave you the number to the person that's investigating your case. And you said that you have 3 messages from that time. So I'm going to step out on a limb and say that they tried to attempt to contact you 3 times and you didn't respond because you were advised to be idle. How is that poor effort on their part? They did what they were supposed to do. They provided you with the phone number. If that's how they conducted their business, oh well, that's how they did it. Maybe it's a little tacky, oh well. But they did what they're supposed to do.
They handled it horribly. I don't feel like they ever intended on talking to me or even making anything of it. What do you investigate? How do you investigate something and mark something off as not credible if you have not talked to the source? You are basing it off of 2 poorly formatted storytime videos. My way of dealing with this was to tell a story. that was my way of dealing with it, because I was like, this is the only way I'm going to be able to have a voice. And I was wrong. I was very wrong. It didn't become bigger than me until I'm getting other women reaching out to me telling me that similar situations happened to them and they were threatened. Just so many different things. That's when it became bigger than me. And that's when
Okay, so you say that several women have reached out to you since this time that you released that video, and they're telling you about all the stuff that happened to them with Catfish or whatever. See, this is the reason why you should not have disabled your comment section, because who knows who else life you could have saved when they was doing that comment down there. Yeah, there's a lot of trolls, but it just comes with the territory. Just like in any other social media, it comes with the territory. But these people are coming out to support your story. More of the reason to actually talk to the investigator when he or she reaches out to you to get your side of the story. Who the hell advised you not to talk to them? I would like to talk to that person. Okay, let me talk to that person.
I was like, wow, like these other women went through the same thing. There was one girl in particular, she touched me. She's like such a sweet girl. What happened to her was never okay. She was sexually harassed by him. He made some really disgusting comments to her. It was just horrible. Like, listening to her story, it was just so horrible, because I know what that feels like. Just hearing like everyone talking about their experiences and things like that. I actually had someone disguised as a victim DM me to try to get myself and the other women, because they're still anonymous. They tried to get myself and the other women on a group Skype call. I'm smarter than that, and I know that they were sent by the team. So basically, the person writes me, right? And they're like, oh, I'm a victim too. I'm one of the production assistants, da 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 da. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, hell yeah, like, you know, this is bigger than all of us. This is about something like bigger now. Like, I'm going to make sure that everyone's story gets told. Like, let's do this. She's like, has Critical Content reached out to you yet? The only person that would really like be like in it enough to know who the third-party investigator was would be somebody that works for them currently, not a victim. I don't care if you were a
I'm gonna find the article and I'm gonna put it up here. These receipts, then, if you're saying that nobody knew about it, these receipts should be before May. MTV made the statement and they said that Critical Content was going to be the third party person that came in to do this investigation. Okay, so I just really hope it adds up. Okay, so why is she asking this question the second time? Didn't you already ask the girl that and she didn't respond to that question? So why are you asking again? Oh, and also what I did notice though, that those dates are in May. So like I said, it could have been a troll, got that information in an article somewhere and, you know, decided to troll Ayissha.
The way the messages were worded, and it was just mind-boggling to me how they tried to manipulate the situation. I just felt like, wow, that's very shady. So moving on, I had a lot of mixed opinions. I had people who were like, oh, you're a fucking liar, he's a saint, he would never do anything like this, you just want clout. I don't want clout. Who's going to put out a video about someone who acts like they're a saint on TV and think, oh, I'm gonna get all this great support? No, I know you.
Guess what? Newsflash, there's a lot of people that do that every damn day.
You guys were gonna ride. I knew you guys were gonna, you know, not believe me. I knew you guys were gonna be all for this person that you guys don't know. Like, I don't want clout. I hate that word, by the way, but I don't want clout. I don't need clout. I never needed clout. If I wanted to capitalize off of this, I would have been posting videos back to back. I love social media. I don't want clout, never needed clout. I could care less, you know, about the hate or anything like that. People are gonna have their opinions, like I said. I'm not gonna take that away from you. I don't really have much to say on that, but what I do have to say is I definitely regret not talking. It makes me want to fight that much harder. And for myself, I've never fought for anything before, and what happened to me will never be okay. I'm going to fight until my last day standing, until I get justice on this. I was assaulted, I was raped, I was harassed by the people who were supposed to be taking care of me and helping me. People are asking me like, oh, well, why didn't you say something sooner? Why did you wait? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me address that. So this happened in 2015, and I told everyone that was, you know, the camera crew. I told everyone. We were at the airport. I told, you know, everyone that was there at the time. Nobody listened, so if they're not listening, if I mean, they said they're not surprised, and they were all joking about it because they were like, oh, nobody likes him, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't really, you know. In 2017, so this was a year ago, I was on Facebook.
Okay, so she said that she told everybody on the production team, nobody really listened. Did you call the police? Did you reach out to a lawyer? Did you get one of those free consultations regarding your situation? You didn't do any of that. Here's the thing. A lot of people have things that happen in their life and they get messed up when they talk to the wrong people about it. Talk to the people that matter. My husband has this thing to where he says whenever he's going through something, it's either he talks to me or he'll talk to his mama or he'll talk to somebody that can do something about what he is going through. And when he explained it like that, I was like, well, damn, I never thought of it that way. But it's so true. If you can't do anything to rectify my situation, to help me fix it in any sort of way, why am I telling you what happened? You're not going to do anything. It is probably out of your power to do anything. Yes, there's probably that internal harassment ethics policy or whatever that some businesses have, well, all should have, that if you're harassed or whatever, that you can call this 1-800 hotline and you know, or if you hear about it, you should be able to go talk to somebody or report it on their behalf. But here's the thing, not everybody is calling that hotline. It may fall on deaf ears. Like some people just don't even care. That's your story, boo. So my point is, talk to the persons or the person or persons that can actually help you get some work done, help you get his ass reported, to help you bring light to this situation. Don't just talk to anybody. Hell, they probably didn't care.
Who conned their way to get onto the show. I was basically saying like, that's fake, like that's fake. One of the producers, I had her on Facebook and she wrote me and she was just like, hey, like you can't post things like that and blah, blah, blah. And I like went off, and I didn't go off on her because of that. I went off on her because I had so much bottled up, and I blocked her on Facebook, and she ended up emailing me from her Verizon number, and I'm gonna put the emails here right now.
Okay, so looks odd because you only see the phone number, and somebody did comment into my previous video and told me that they found that odd as well. I will let you guys know that when I received that comment, I went onto my own phone and I sent a message to my email from my phone number, and it actually comes up and then it says like at mms.com or something like that. I'll put that in the video as well. So then Ayissha responds and says, thank you so much. That made me cry. I've been holding this in for so long and it put me in a depression. I was so angry. I assumed Emma. Uh-oh. She said a name. You didn't mark this out, Ayissha. She said Emma. So now I need to research Emma. I assumed Emma told you, and I'm so sorry for assuming. I was so mad. I was mad about what happened with me and Emma. So Emma is the girl, the production assistant that she said had raped her, basically. I mean, if this is really her conversating with this person and telling her, then it does tell us that something did transpire. She did talk to people about it. She still felt a way. People can turn. You know what I mean? People can turn. I'm sorry, they can. You can be down with the cause one moment, and then the next moment you trying to scream rape. So it's kind of hard seeing this here. Even this person seemed shocked, like nobody told me anything. And you say you told all these people and nobody said anything? That's odd.
So her name is Jill, and she is one of the producers on the show. I told her what happened, and nothing.
Listen, you keep trying to put this on everybody else. You need to be accountable for where you need to step in. You need to go report this. Not everybody else. The girl told you she was going to report it.
After that email, I ended up unblocking her and adding her back, and I had wrote her, and I was like, hey, can I ask you one more question? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, am I wasting my time going up against sharks? And because I knew, my whole thought process was, you know, I'm sure they have these like shark lawyers, and no one's gonna like hear me out, and they didn't hear me out when I first said anything. You're not really giving a shit. You said you're not gonna say anything. It just seemed like everyone that works for them was afraid of something, or I don't know, it just seemed that way. And so I remember her, I don't know if she responded or not. If I can find the message, I don't know if my Facebook is long gone, but if I can find it, I'm definitely gonna put it in here. Conversations like this of me trying to say something a year ago just furthermore frustrates the fact that Critical Content did none of this investigating. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did none of this. I did not put much into my videos. I didn't put much receipts into my video. I didn't want to have the receipts just out there. I was just gonna, you know, keep it private and just, you know, for them. And I just feel like they didn't care about what I had to say, because to them I'm just, oh, another girl and I'm not credible. And I just feel like that's like, I would never bring a whole bunch of hate to myself or to my world, or I look like a glazed donut. I would never bring like a whole bunch of like hate to myself or anything like that for nothing. I'm just not that type of person, and I'll never be that type of person. And I would never lie about something like this, because that's disgusting. Okay, so at this time to upload some photos, and these photos were taken in the hotel room. And as you can see, well, you'll be able to see in one of the photos, you see turn his back because he was leaving out of the room. Once he left out of the room, he came up behind me, and he got a little more touchy-feely with the photos.
And Neve and
just take a look for yourself.
And she doesn't look uncomfortable to me at all. Okay. Another one, she looks pretty happy, a little angry, pretty happy. He's leaving, so now he's tongue out. Okay, she's still posing, doesn't look uncomfortable. Posing, still don't look uncomfortable.
This happened just before he tried to get me to do sexual favors. If I don't fight for this, then I better not ever fight for, like, I'm fighting for anything else. Like, this is something that is extremely important to me, because this involves my body, me as a woman, me as a person, my self-respect, my dignity, everything all tied into one. This includes all of that. And if I don't fight for that, I don't think I'll ever be able to, like, look at myself. I have to fight for this. I have to. I'm not gonna stop fighting ever until something is done. I'm going to fight for myself, for the other girls involved that are too afraid, the ones who feel like, you know, they're just so afraid to be bashed. I'm fighting for every woman who's ever had a situation like this happen and nothing has happened. Fighting for every person who's never got justice for anything a day in their life. It's really twisted to me that they can not fully investigate, resume production, say I'm not credible when they never talked to me before.
She keeps saying that she think it's crazy that they can continue to resume production, not investigate, say she's not credible. How can you be shocked, Ayissha, when you didn't even cooperate? You should not be appalled that they continued. You wasn't cooperating with them.
Oh, it's over, and it's not over I have a case still open in regards to this, for them to completely do everything in their power to sweep it under the rug, just like they swept under the rug when beat the crap out of a girl. And I'll put the article here.
I heard about that. Again, we're not saying he's perfect, but I did hear that he apparently punched a girl. He ain't perfect.
This is never going to be swept under the rug.
If he did that, he should have went down for
as
that
long as
too.
I'm living.
I'll call it
it's
how
not
it
going to be
is.
swept under the rug, and I have to fight. Because if I don't stand for this, then I'm going to fall for anything. And that can't happen. I'm so grateful for me realizing how strong I can be. And that I'm a force by myself, and I don't need to depend on anyone. With that being said, you guys, I'm sorry, but it's not over. It's just the beginning. Thank you for all of you who stuck by me. Even when I was, you know, down and out, I wasn't posting any videos. It seemed like I gave up. And I know a lot of women were like, well, she's supposed to be fighting for, you know, this, like, what's going on? She's not fighting, so how are we gonna believe her? She's not fighting. And I totally get that, and I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. But yeah, guys, that wraps this up. I'm not gonna say like, oh, like, comment, and subscribe. All I have to say is just share this video, and I just want you guys to know that it is not over.
All right, guys, so that's it. We're here. That is the end. I have commented way too much, okay, and I'm just tired. Now overall, I feel like I didn't walk away from this video knowing that her story is the truth. I walked away from it still as skeptical as I did when I walked in, okay. Now why does that sound cracky, okay? Okay, so the problem is that your receipts is a person that says she had no knowledge of that ever happening and that she was sorry it did happen. That's something I would say. If I hear that somebody went through something so traumatic, I'd say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I never knew it. That's exactly what that person said. This does not validate that it happened to you, okay? It's just you telling her what you say happened. You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't validate it. You also showed us pictures of you with the boys, okay? Nev and what's the other one name? Y'all know his name. Anyway, you also show the pictures with them. You didn't look uncomfortable. You was posing with Nev when he was touching you on your belly or whatever. You was posing with him. That does not show me that you felt harassed, that you felt pressure, that you felt anything other than happy to be there. It seemed consensual. You know, you also showed us the receipt from the Ray person that you said disguised themselves as a victim from critical acclaim, from critical content just to get you, I guess, to exploit you. I don't know what they were doing. You claim it was the person that disguised himself. Well, listen, there's a lot of trolls. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of them. So that doesn't prove to me that it happened. Nothing that you put in this video tells me that it actually happened and I need to be behind you, supporting you. And not that you asked me to support you. I'm just saying, nothing seemed credible to me. It only seemed like a person that was just running from the people that you needed to be talking to. Critical content. You need to be talking to them, and you didn't, okay? All right, guys, so go ahead, get into the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this video. Also, don't forget to, I'm not going to even promote the like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm not going to promote none of that. Just let me know. We having a conversation here, subbies. Let me know what you think about this whole video. Ayissha, if you here, you can comment down below too. We will accept you, and we want to know what is really going on. You know what I mean? Tell me this isn't the receipts that you have been holding on to forever time. Like, please tell me this is not the receipt, because this is not it. Please tell me there's a continuation coming soon. Like, there's something else. And you don't even have to show it to us. Show it to the authorities. You get what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Till next time. Bye.
Kid, maybe high key. I been peeped that you like.